Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. At first, I offer my humble prayers in the lotus feet of Lord Shri Radha Krishna. I also extend warm greetings and respect to all of you. Today, from the scripture UDDHAV Gita, the last message of Lord Shri Krishna, we will be listening chapter number 22, where Lord is instructing his dear friend and devotee UDDHAV about methods of worship. The holy words from the scripture are as follows. UDDHAV said, O Lord, the adored one of the devotees, please describe to me the mode of worshipping Thee through ceremonials, how and through what aids the devotees worship Thee. Sages like Narad, Bhagwan Vyas, and Acharya Brihaspati, the son of Angiras, repeatedly describe this as the way to liberation for men. O Lord, who glorifiest Thy devotees, that instruction which, after it had issued from Thy lotus lips, the Lord Brahma told his sons Phrigu and others, and the Lord Shiva to the goddess Parvati, that I consider the best and the most suitable means of well-being for all castes and orders of life, including even the Shudras and women. O lotus-eyed one, O Lord of the rulers of the universe, tell me, Thy ardent devotee, about this way that unlooses the bonds of karma. The Lord said, There is no end, O Uddhav, to the course of ceremonial worship, which is really limitless. So I shall give you a brief about accurate description of it in order. There are three ways of worshipping me, viz. Vedika, Tantrika and mixed. One may worship me by any one of the three methods that appeals to one. Learn it of me with faith, how having at the due season his investiture with the holy thread according to the injunction of his particular Veda, a man should worship me with devotion. A twice born should worship me, his teacher, with sincerity and devotion by means of various presents in an image or the sacrificial ground, or fire, or the sun, or water, or in his own heart. Cleansing his teeth, he should first have bath for the purification of his body. The bath is to be accompanied by both Vedika and Tantrika mantras and the use of earth, etc. Through the Vedas, I have enjoined certain rites such as the morning, noon, and evening prayers. Along with them, he should perform with right determination my worship, which roots out karma. Images are of 8 kinds, those made of stone, wood, gold, clay, sand, and jewels, as well as painted and metal ones. Images where are the temples of gods are divided into two other classes, movable and immovable. In worshipping through the immovable ones, O Davad, there is neither the ceremony of invocation nor that of valediction. With regard to the movable images, there is an option about this, but in the case of the sacrificial ground, there are compulsory. Bathing is performed with all except the clay ones. In other cases, only wiping is done. The worship of a sincere devotee in images should be done with the choicest offerings that are available. In the heart, it should be done with only mental offerings. In images, O Uddhav, it is bathing and decoration which are dearest to me. In the sacrificial ground, the locating of the deities, and in fire oblation soaked in ghee. In the sun, worshipping through prayers, etc. is dearest to me. In water, through water, etc. Even water offered by a devotee with faith is dearest to me, not to speak of perfume, incense, flower, light, and various kinds of food. But a heap of offerings from one who is not a devotee fails to please me. After first collecting the requisites of worship and purifying himself, he should have a seat of kusha grass, and seated thereon facing the east or north, he should worship me. In the case of an immovable images, however, he should face that. Having located the deities in his own body, he should place the principal mantra in my image and purify it with his mind. He should duly purify the pitcher filled with sacred water for sprinkling. He should sprinkle that water on the place of worship, on the requisites of worship, and on himself, and put in 3 vessels some of that water and the things prescribed for each. The worshipper should purify the 3 vessels meant for the water to wash the feet, for the welcome offerings, and for the water to wash the mouth with the mantras. Namaz to the heart, Swaha to the head, and Vashat to the hair on the crown respectively, and all with the Gayatri. Having purified his body with air and fire, he should meditate on the subtle and supreme form of mind as Narayan, seated in the lotus of his heart, which the Siddhas reflect on at the end of the Nada. Identifying himself with that form and imagining it as pervading his body, he should mentally worship it. Being one with that, he should invoke it and put it in the images, etc., and locating the deities in its different parts, worship me. Having conceived my court with the attributes such as virtue, etc., and the nine powers, and thereof eight petal lotus with effulgent pericarp and stamens, he should, for the achievement of prosperity and liberation as set forth in the Vedas and Tantras, offer me with both kinds of mantras, water for washing the feet and mouth, welcome offerings, and other things. He should next worship my weapons, the disc, Sudarshan, the conch, Panchajanya, the club, the sword, the bow, and the arrows, and the plough, and the mace, as also the ornaments like jewel, Kaustubha, the garland, and the curl of hair on the chest called Srivastava. He should worship with welcome offerings, etc. Nanda, Sunanda, Garuda, Prachanda, Chanda, Mahabala, Bala, Kumuda, and Kumadakshena, as well as Durga, Ganesh, Vyash, and Vishwakshena, and Gurus, and the gods, all stationed in their respective places facing me. Having got the means, he should always bathe me with water scented by sandal, ushira, camphor, saffron, and aglocham with such mantras as the Swarna Ghamra hymn, the stanza on the Mahapurusha, the Purusha Sukta, the Samas called Rajana, and so on. Full of love, my devotee should appropriately decorate me with clothes, the holy thread, ornaments, leaf patterns, garlands, scent, and sandal paste. The worshipper should offer me with faith various presents such as water for washing the feet and mouth, scent, flowers, sunrise, grains, incense, and light. Having got the means, he should offer me the following kinds of food preparations of molasses, sweetened milk rice, ghee, different kinds of flour, cakes, and sweets, curd, and vegetable dishes. They should take place daily on special days. Unction, rubbing, and scented powder, presenting of a mirror, washing of the teeth, ablution, offerings of different kinds of food, music, and dance. Lighting a fire in a pit made according to the rules with the girdle, cavity, and altar, he should collect it when kindled from all sides with his hand. Then, spreading kusha grass around it, he should sprinkle water around, having put faggots into the fire according to the prescribed rules, and place the different offerings near it. He should sprinkle the sacred water from the pitcher on it and meditate on me there. Like heated gold in complexion with four arms, bearing gracefully a conch, a disc, a club, and a lotus, serene, wearing a cloth of the color of lotus stamens, wearing a shining diadem, bracelets, waistbands, and splendid ornaments with the curls Srivastav on the chest, radiant with the jewel Kaustubha, and wearing a garland of wild flowers. After meditating and worshipping me, he should put faggots soaked in ghee into the fire, perform the two agaras and the two homas, and uttering the principal mantras and the Purusha Shukta for each stanza of the latter, offer oblations soaked in ghee, making duly with the appropriate mantras, offering to virtue, etc., as well as the offering called Sivasastikrita. Then, worshipping and saluting me, the wise man should offer food to my attendants, and thinking of Brahman manifested as Narayan, he should repeat the principal mantra. Having offered me the water for washing the mouth, he should offer the remnants of my food to Vishwakshena. Then he should offer me things to chew, such as fragrant betel, etc., and again worship me. He should be wrapped for some time in singing to and praising me, dancing, acting my deeds, and listening to and narrating my exploits. Praising me with various hymns and orders composed by the ancients as well as the modern, he should prostrate himself before me, saying, Lord, be gracious unto me. Placing his head at my feet and holding them with both his hands correspondingly, he should say, Lord, save me from the ocean of transmigration with the shark of death in it, of which I am terribly afraid. I have taken refuge in thee. Placing the token of my pleasure respectfully on his head, he should perform the valedictory ceremony. If this has to be done by merging the light that was put in the image back in the light that is in his heart. Among the images, etc., one may worship me just in that in which he may have faith at any particular time. For I am the self of all and dwell in everything as well as in one's own self. Worshipping me thus by means of ceremonials Vedika as well as Tantrika, a man obtains from me his desired boon both here and thereafter. Installing my images, he must have a strong temple built for it, with beautiful flower gardens attached, and for the continuance of the daily worship as well as gatherings and festivals on special days. He should make a gift of lands, shops, towns, and villages to support the worship, etc. By doing so, he attains a splendor equaling mine. By installing my images, a man attains suzerainty on earth. By building a temple for it, the three worlds, by worship, etc., the sphere of Brahma, and by all three sameness with me. By worshipping me with devotion, regardless of any consideration, he verily attains me. This devotion is accessible to him who worship me in this way. He who robs the maintenance, whether awarded by himself or others, of a deity or a Brahmana, is born as a dirty maggot for millions of years. Whatever fate awaits this culprit in the next life overtakes also those who aid, instigate, or abet him in the deed, or they are shares in it. The punishment is greater in proportion to the enormity of the sin. Thus concludes chapter 22 from the scripture UDDHAV Gita, the last message of Lord Shri Krishna. Thank you for listening. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha.